She's done just that today, actually, with Courage Mon Ami, who was super impressive, and Exemeter, who looked like she had the race actually in the bag, but not quite the case. So well done to Jack Mitch. We saw another really nice display there in her previous contest, and it's been a really enjoyable evening. We're going to switch to handicap company now. It's a Class 5 handicap next, and Alex is back in the parade ring. Let's take a look at a few of these. Alex.
You might just see foreground. That's a Dion Baker we're going to talk about. You might just see in the background, walking down the walkway, a Granary Queen going to post. She's left and is going to post early. So let's look at Dion Baker, who is yet to win in 7, but there's been some green shoots, I think it's fair to say, and perhaps none more so than last time for the new yard at Newmarket, where against better horses than he faces up against tonight, he led for a long way, and he had quite a few of them, if not most of them, off the bridle until about a furlong from home. He was sticking his head down. I think he's a trial. I think his heart's in the right place. I think that the step down in class will help him. Whether they're going to be positive tactically, we shall see, but stall 1 will afford Pat Cosgrave that opportunity if he wants to make the running again. And I don't think he'll have the same class of horse coming at him in the closing stages here today. So it might just be a good setup for him to run his best career race so far. We shall see. Now let's drop 2 back and we'll show you number 8. And that is another horse in the red hood, like Granary Queen, who's left the paddock. And that is Must Be Royale, who's only beaten 1 horse home in her last 2 starts, but had he come into this race on the back of his Chelmsford win, he'd be a lively one. He'd be well fancied, and he's only a pound higher in the handicap. That Chelmsford performance was pretty good. It was the day that he had the hood and the cheek pieces on for the first time. They are no longer part of the ensemble. But it opened up beautifully for him in the rail, and he finished strongly. I repeated that, and he's a player. Stall 7 with Jason Watson back on board for the first time since last year. So he's departed stage left. He's going to the post alongside Granary Queen. So we're going to look at number 1 in the red sheet, walking towards us now, and that is Global Warning, who I think is a player here tonight on the back of his best run for a while and his best run for his new yard last time up at Wolverhampton. I thought that was a good platform effort over 6 furlongs. He was quite badly drawn out in stall 9, and he was slowly away and outpaced through the first 100 yards. Then he got himself into a nice prominent position, and he kind of kept on at the 1 pace, giving you the sniff that an extra furlong tonight's exactly what he wants. So he's coming to this on the back of his best run for the new yard, and I think the step up in trip will help him. He's very well handicapped on all of his previous winning form, and he has run well at Kempton before, placing on a couple of occasions. So lots of boxes ticked, I think, for Global Warning tonight. Let's drop 2 back. We'll show you number 6. That is the filly for Lazia Beach, who finally got her head in front last time after numerous placed efforts. 7 off them prior to that win last time, but a deserving win for her at Chepstow. Now, you can pick holes in the form, no doubt about it. She, in a small field, beat a debutant, and the 3rd horse, rated only 61, got smashed up out of sight and hammered at Yarmouth yesterday. So I don't think the form's worth much, but she's consistent, tough, and Reese Clutterbuck's £3, I think, will definitely help her. I want to show you number 7, who's just about to walk towards us. That's Mumiaz, who comes into this on the back of a good effort last time up here at the track. That was a couple of weeks ago, and a bit like Global Warning for John Butler. From Mark Loughnane, he's got a horse coming into this field probably with its best run for him. Now, he did get notably flat-footed at a crucial stage, and that is a potential Achilles heel, even in a race like this. The horses who were 1-2 in that race were only about a length ahead of him when they were approaching the home turn. So it's not as if he was in a bad position and then finished quite well. He had every chance against the horses who figured in the finish. So we don't want to get too carried away overrating how well he competed and how he stayed on that occasion, but at least it was a step forward, and he is well handicapped on his Dundalk winning form, obviously on an artificial surface across in Ireland. So he's one you can give a chance to in what in truth is a fierce, competitive, wide open race.
The color change, it is the favorite, and we have the noseband. As Alex said, it's dropped like a stone through water in the handicap, but it's, well, shown not a lot of anything to do so. Positive is a dual 7 furlong winner. This is a 7 furlong race. Those were back in Ireland when he was with Kevin Pendergrass, and last time out, as Alex intonated in the paddock, he ran a really good race. That was over 6 furlongs, so potentially stepping back up to a specialist distance of 7 will suit. He's drawn 4. He is more of a hold-up and pounce horse. But that
You sounded very lukewarm on him.
I had a top 5. He was number 5.
Okay, what's number 1?
Number 9, Unsung Hero, for Heather Main and Kieran Fallon. An 0 for 6 maiden, which normally I don't touch with the barge pole, but this horse 2 and 3 starts ago was a solid second, albeit of 3, and a third at Leicester and Brighton respectively. Once it went handicapping, before last time out at Windsor, you can throw that out because that was one of the Racing League races, so it was a 0 to 90, so we're taking a huge grade drop today into 0 to 70. I think that will definitely suit. And this horse from stall 5 does like to lay up with the pace. Dion Baker, who's drawn in 1, likes to go forward, so I think Kieran Fallon will have a good position, sort of just sitting in the catbird seat to be able to go and pounce and win the races. A lot of the other horses in here tend to be.
Who was number 2 of the 5?
The 4, Prenup, at around about 14 to 1. Another 0 for 6 maiden, been placed in it her last twice, sort of rounding into the whole racing game. And last time out at Wolverhampton over 7, lost the right front shoe, so we'll give her a little bit of a pass for that. She was caught really wide on the turn before getting outpaced. Kempton should definitely suit her more than Wolverhampton, and she gets the £3 claims of Benoit de la Sayette.
She's got the wide draw here as well. You know what's coming next.
Number 1, global warming.
Number 3 on the list, global
yes.
warning indeed. Well handicapped and a better run last time.
Yeah, the slight worry is let's talk odds. 40 to 1, 33 to 1, 33 to 1, 28 to 1, 33 to 1, 11 to 4. And didn't win. That was at all hallmark of a big gamble. That the horse ran extremely well, and there was a change of tactics. Went from held up out the back to was allowed to go and be more prominently placed. Stayed on to go second. It was well clear. The rest, I think, back up to 7 will definitely suit. It's just the, you You didn't go in the first time. Do you want it the second time?
Right, there's 4 to load. We
Yep.
can get the last 2. Number 4.
Number 4 is number 3, Granary Queen, a 4 times career winner. Only run twice on the all-weather, but not bad runs. 3 times over 7 furlongs. Has been in decent form plugging on.
Finally, what was number 5 on the list?
It was the favourite Moonamiz. So
Okay.
we've covered it. Unsung Hero, though,
Yeah.
number 1.
All right. Like it. All yours, Mark.
They're in the game. And they're off. They race over 7 furlongs in this Unibet Extra Place Offers Everyday Handicap. And through the early stages on the inside, Dion Baker being taken on now a little bit wider by Unsung Hero. Felicia Beach is also racing promptly. On the heels, the leaders is Hines. On the inside rail, Full Intention. Then a little bit wider to those is Must Be Royale in what's a very tightly grouped field. Next is Mameas, now in those pink and green colours, followed around the outside by Prenup. On the inside is Global Warning. Last but one is Twilight Revenge, and the back marker and held up is Granary Queen. A half mile to go, and Felicia Beach moves up around the outside of Unsung Hero. Unsung Hero still has a lead, though, of over half a length to Felicia Beach racing in second, and just a little awkward going around the turn. 3 deep is Must Be Royale, with on the inside rail Dion Baker in fourth as they turned in. Mameas has now taken a route down the outside to try and challenge. Sticking to the inner is Full Intention. Hines coming under a drive and finding little, and they race inside the final furlong and a half. Unsung Hero tackled now on the inside by Dion Baker. Felicia Beach looks for a bit of room. Mameas down the wide outside from a mile back. Now beginning to roll is Granary Queen right up against the inside rail. It is still Unsung Hero who has got the lead and now begins to just pull on as they race up towards the line. Unsung Hero in front. Granary Queen up for second. Dion Baker may just have got third, followed home by Full Intention.
Oh, the drop-in trip has worked a treat for Unsung Hero, who's run respectably in a couple of races over a mile previously. Slightly dull effort last time up, but back on it today. Positive ride, down in distance, and Kieran Fallon on board for the first time, the final piece of the jigsaw. Unsung Hero wins for the first time at the 7th attempt. Well done to Rach, who put him up in the studio. Good run from Granary Queen. You know the score with her. She's going to be held up, and she might have too much to do. She's run a cracker, and she was back on it today. When the cards fall and they go a mad gallop, she will win again, no doubt about it. It's a good run from her, coming from some way back. Dion Baker was well positioned and down in class. He's run another solid race, a bit like Unsung Hero. Unsung Hero's just managed to slot it together today. And every chance for Felicia Beach. It was just a stronger race than the one she took last time. Mumiaz, you can see further back in the noseband, he just lacks a change of gear. And he probably wants them to go hard and fall in his lap, really. But it's another building block. He might also be a horse to suck you in. But Unsung Hero, Heather Main had a horse run really well earlier on tonight, and down in distance has been the key.
So winner for Heather Main, and she'll be hoping for more success at Newbury. It's a big weekend. Of course, she'll be singing the national anthem at Newbury tomorrow. So wish her all the best in that endeavour. But here on Unsung Hero, really, really nice performance. And Rachel, a great selection. We went through the 5 that you liked. This was number 1. And Heather Main, Kieran Fallon on board for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, he had the form in the book. If you ignore the Racing League race, I mean, that's one of the things, as we were talking about off air, the Racing League races, they're not to 90 handicaps, and they're really tight at the high end because they're running for seriously a lot of money. I mean, we know what the final was yesterday. Wales in the West won. Safi Osborne won a nice chunk of change for overhauling Sean Levy on the final day, but Kieran Fallon kept this simple. Nobody wanted to go to the front. He did. The horse does tend to be prominently placed, and then it was job done, because you have Felicia Beach to the outside, who I thought she ran credibly, considering she won an egg and spoon race on her 11th attempt at Chepstow over the bank holiday weekend when about 30 horses total ran over 2 days. So she's run another decent race to a point, but it looked quite an easy performance in the end. The favourite in the colour change, pink and green to the outside in the noseband, I mean, it was wide coming around the turn. I think that was more that Richard Kingscote was trying to peel off to get a bit of a run down the outside. Once he got the room, there was a case of the slows going on.
just takes a bit of time, doesn't it? But I think, to be fair, this Colt's Unsung Hero, you kind of always were confident, even as they kind of closed the gap a little bit. I think there was probably a little bit more left even to hitting the line here.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing with him, that was only his 7th start. He's now broken his maiden, but